Now that you've heard my side of the story of why I did not choose the holistic route, I am now going to bring to you Miss Angela Gooden. Miss Angela Gooden is the owner of Juicing to be Good and Fit. Thank you for joining me on another episode of my podcast, Kiss a Survivor. Today, I want to introduce to you all Miss Angela Gooden. Miss Angela is a certified holistic juice therapist and the owner of Juicing to be Good and Fit. She's also a seasoned radiology director with over 20 years of experience in healthcare. Thank you, Miss Angela, for joining me on my podcast
Of
today.
course, of course.
When
Thanks
I,
for having me.
Oh, yes, ma'am. When I met you, I figured you were going to be a great fit because when I met you at the women's conference and we spoke about juicing and all the health benefits to it, I figured my next topic on my podcast was going to be why I chose not to go the holistic route during my breast cancer diagnosis. And I figured that you being on my podcast would be a great fit to just enlighten women about their health moving forward and about juicing. So
hmm
tell the listeners about your business.
Yeah, of course. So, back then, I'll give you a little rundown about my background and what started me to juicing.
Okay.
So back in, around the COVID years, I gained a lot of weight. And then I started developing a lot of health issues that came
Mm-hmm.
along with that. The chest pain, the shortness of breath, the joints, the achy bones, the muscles, all the things. So went to the doctor, and she did all the tests and everything, and it came back, and she's like, "Hey, Angie, I think maybe you have high blood pressure." Which I've never dealt with before. And so she said, "Hey, I think we need to put you on something." And so, with me being in healthcare, I know that taking pills and things like and medicine, that's just a band-aid. It's not actually
Yes.
fixing the problem and getting down to the root of why do you have high blood pressure.
Right.
So, respectfully, I told her, "Hey, I understand what you're saying, but I am not going to be on high blood pressure medicine." I've always told myself, of course, working in the health field, I've seen every type of health problem there is. You're not going to be on medicine like that, because that's why so many people, you have to be put on this pill to cover this pill to cover that pill. And it's just a band aid. It's not getting to the root of why am I on this medicine. Say it. I never picked up the blood pressure medicine at all from the pharmacy. And I left her office that day basically saying, "I'm going to fix this and change my life myself. I know how to do this."
Yes.
So I left her office that day, went cold turkey, everything. I changed my diet. I started working out, more fruits and veggies, less red meat, more fish. And so I started doing all the things. And I just started with a simple workout, 20 minutes a day. That's really and truly, if you just start with 20 minutes a day to get the blood flowing, get the heart pumping, then your muscles, your joints, everything will just kind of start playing together, and you'll start seeing the benefit of reaping that. And so I
Okay.
started doing that, and I wanted to try to find a way, how can I get more fruits and veggies in my diet? And so I started researching juicing
Mm-hmm.
and researched juicing, started trying it, and I immediately fell in love with the benefits. It was absolutely amazing. I started loving the way that I was looking, my skin was looking better, my hair started growing, my energy was off the charts. And I started losing weight, of course. Bloating went away, the inflammation. And I loved it. And so I started researching juicing a little bit deeper. And again, fell in love with the benefits, turned my husband onto it. He started loving it. And so I went back for a follow-up checkup. And she said she checked everything, and she's like, "Wow, your levels, everything, it looks amazing. And your blood pressure is like A1, exactly
Yeah.
what it needs to be." And so she said, "Oh, did you pick up the medicine?" I said, "No, I told you I was not gonna pick that up.
Yes.
What have you been doing?" And I said,
Yeah.
"I'm juicing." And she said, "Wow, whatever you're doing, you need to continue to do it, because all of your levels that I checked today, they're amazing." And so
That's good.
turned my mom onto it, got her off of high blood pressure medicine, and then it just kind of went from there. My family, my friends, coworkers, things like that. My husband gave it to his clients since he's a
Yeah.
personal trainer, and everyone just started kind of reaping off of the juicing. And that's pretty much how my business, the Juicing to Be Good and Fit, that's how she was born. That's it.
That's great.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I actually heard your story when we were at the women's
Mhm.
conference, it's like you saying it even again, like I'm like, I need to get on the ball. Like I
Yeah.
need to jump into action and get with it.
Yeah.
And it's funny that it everything is aligned for God's purpose. I always believe.
Absolutely.
I wish that I had a met you probably like right after my diagnosis or even
Mhm.
when I got diagnosed because that would have changed some things in my diet. That would have encouraged me to do something different. But when you know better, you do better.
That's right.
So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I was like, when you told me I had immediately, I'm on the phone at the women's conference. I'm texting my husband, like, I just met this lady and she juiced, and he had already kind of started, teetering into juicing. And
Mhm.
now, like, you convincing me even more. Like, I feel like a little bit like I feel like ashamed, like, why hadn't I been doing this before? But
Yeah.
when you don't know and you
That's
don't, you can't help what you don't know. And
that's right.
sometimes women like you and you've already been in healthcare, I feel like you should be like right there with the doctors trying to help with the juicing and the different options before they put you on medicine. So if
Absolutely.
we can reach as many people, even on, with my podcast, with the what you're doing, I think that will be great because I love the benefits of what you're doing. I love the benefits of how juicing is helping women. And I've been sharing my with my friends like what you're doing and with my friends back home and they're closer to you. I hope that they take you up on this. Like I hope that they start juicing and getting their health better. But moving
Mhm.
forward, I don't plan on being on any more medication because of
Yes.
your story, your
Yeah.
testimony. You like said like it changed everything and I'm already in
Everything.
the process of because I've had breast cancer. My doctor is now telling me, okay, start watching your A1C levels. And because I've went through chemotherapy, I feel like I don't want to be on anything.
Yes. Yeah.
So even if I
Yes.
have to reach out to you and say, "Hey, I need help,"
Yes.
I'm definitely going to do that because I don't want to
Absolutely.
be on medicine at all. I want to have a better and healthier lifestyle. I
That's right.
want to be around.
Mhm.
So I appreciate that. That's a great testimony on how you changed your life and you changed your family's lives. How can your products help with not just women who've been affected by breast cancer like myself, but all women and men when it comes to their health?
Right. So again, just and a lot of people,
Okay.
especially the African American culture, we
Okay.
were raised on eat everything on the plate.
Yes.
And our everything on the plate was not healthy. We had the
Yes.
soul food, we had the all the sweets, all the carbs, all the things.
Yes.
I was raised that way, and so
Uh-huh.
when you're raised that way, now your mind mentality is set that way even when you become an adult, and it's literally
Yes.
it's a tradition. It's it falls in the line. So we were raised that way, so we're teaching our kids to do the same thing, and they're teaching their kids to do the exact same thing. And it's sad, but like you said, you don't know if you don't know. You were right, that's all
Yes.
that you know. And
Yes.
so Texas is the number one obese state, the number
Really?
one obese state, because Texas is, hey, everything is big or go home pretty much.
Okay.
All the
Yeah.
meals are
Yeah.
so big. And
Fried
even
foods.
yes, yes,
Yes. Yes.
fried foods, everything is so big. The portion sizes are so big to where
Uh-huh.
it makes that's why Texas is the number one obese state. And not even just that, Americans, only 9% of Americans eat the allotted fruits and veggies every day that they're supposed to be
Uh-huh.
eating. Only
Uh-huh.
9%. That's crazy when you think about it. It blows my mind.
Yes.
9% of people are eating the way that they're supposed to every single day. Everyone
Oh
else
wow.
is just game for all. They don't
Yes.
eat all the fruits and the veggies, and that's why all the bad sugar. No one knows that all of the bad sugar, what it's actually doing to your liver and your pancreas and things like that. Your body, your inside of your body, it cannot function on the bad homemade sugar. Now the sugar,
Mm.
fruits and the veggies, completely different. And a lot of people don't realize that. And so that's how juicing can help anyone. Because that's where when you have all the bad sugar, you have sugar in your blood. That's how diabetes come. Whenever you
Mm.
have a lot of sugar again within your cells, that's how cancer forms. Cancer
Mhm.
feeds off of sugar. Um,
Yes.
Whenever you have all the sugar again within your cells, that's where gout comes from. Whenever you have a lot of sugar in your liver, fatty liver, in your kidneys, you have kidney issues. Whenever you have it in your eyes, glaucoma, in your brain, it's
Wow.
Alzheimer's. So you have all
Wow.
of the, yeah, you have all of this sugar that your body cannot pump out because it's foreign to the body. But all the sugar that God has created in the fruits, that's what your
Yes.
liver knows because it's all natural. And so that's the
Yes.
whole purpose of juicing is to flush out your liver and your pancreas because now all your other organs can live and thrive. But when it's bogged up with everything else, your
Yeah.
liver doesn't know what to do with it. And that's why whenever you eat a bad meal, fried
Uh-huh.
carbs or a big fat meal after on, like holidays or something like that, that's why
Yeah.
you're exhausted when you're done eating because your liver is tired because it's trying to pump all of that out because it's foreign. Like, what is this?
Uh,
Why is this here? I don't know what this
yes.
is.
Yes.
Hmm.
And it's
And
like,
so,
I'm sorry.
no, you're
You know,
good.
when people say, you know how they say after they eat the soul food, they get the itis. So
Yes,
that's when you explain that, that's where that's coming from. It's
absolutely.
not comfort food because we're good and full. It's because the body is now trying to do certain things with what
Yes,
we've just eaten.
yes,
And so
absolutely.
I'm so glad that you said that. Like, I'm like, this is like one of my, my podcast is focused on a lot of breast cancer and a lot of cancers and things like that. But I think this is like my most excited interview because it's like the stuff that you're telling me and the things that my listeners will hear after they hear this, like it is so enlightening to know that and how we grew up as African Americans, how we
Yes,
have been trained to think. And one thing that I have started doing, someone told my husband to do it, is that when we go out to eat, we will go ahead and get a to-go container and
that's it.
split the food
That's it.
because it's in us to eat everything on that plate.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I have been a victim of that, of eating just one more bite, and now I feel miserable
Yes,
and stuff like that. So I like the fact that if this needs to be not only just small, it needs to be like, it needs to be bigger. When you say about the juicing, and that's something that the doctors, of course, they don't tell us,
no.
because like you said, it's a band-aid and it's a business.
Yes, absolutely. It's a business. And like I said, I've been in healthcare for 20 years, but I know that it's a business, it's a money game.
Yes.
And a lot of our doctors, they go to school for 8 years. They only took
Mhm.
4 hours of a nutrition class. So a lot of them don't
Wow.
know. They only know
Yeah.
to prescribe different medicines for different things, but they don't know how to get to the root of it and actually fix it. They just know,
Yes.
okay, well, give them this pill. It's supposed to fix it, but it's not going to take it away. So you're going to still get side effects from that pill. So now I have to give you another pill to help with that side effect. And it just keeps
Yes.
going on and on and on. And if you think
Yes.
about our ancestors, whenever we had our ancestors back in the day, like in the 1800s, they didn't have all the pills, they didn't have the surgeries, they didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
all of the modern medicine that we have today. Their pill was the holistic herbs and all of the juicing. That's how they healed cancer. That's how they healed anyone that was dealing with any kind of sickness was
Uh-huh.
holistic herbs and the juicing. And it's
Mm.
so amazing just whenever I actually dug into juicing more and more. And that's what made me go and actually get certified in holistic juicing because of everything that I found by digging into it. And it's like you can heal yourself. God has given us everything that we need. You can turn
Yes.
it around and heal it. You just have to give it. And you have to
Yes.
have that mind mentality that this is not a diet, this is a life change. This is what
Yes.
I'm going to do. It's a life change. I just came off of a 4-day fast. I started on Monday. Today, I just ended it today. But
Yes.
I do it faithfully every single month just to clear my liver, just to clear my mind, to clear my cells out and
That's
everything
good.
like that. And then, okay, let's get started with, another month. But it's so amazing and so beneficial for everyone to
Yes.
juice. It is so good. And every fruit
Yes.
out there does something different for the body. God has
Uh-huh.
created that fruit for every issue that you're having out there. It's
I,
amazing.
I just I just listened to a podcast yesterday and somebody said that they were actually talking about counseling. But what you just said, you said everything is already within us. God
Yes,
has already given us the tools. They were actually talking about counseling, but you're talking about juicing and the fruits and the vegetables that God has given us. Everything that we need is really within. And I'm
yeah,
glad that you said that because we definitely know that God has given us all of these things. He's given us, juices. I mean, juicing, but He's given us all these fruits and vegetables to use to our benefit. So
that's
I'm
right.
so glad that you said that everything is within. And if we just start doing it and have that mindset change, I think that's the biggest thing sometimes is just the mindset and just being disciplined enough to change
Yes,
and going ahead and getting it done.
that's
So I
right.
like that you said that. I was going to ask my next question was how has juicing helped your customers with their health? But I think you've pretty much already summed it up and answered that because you've already given them your testimony. So how has the juicing helped? What's a testimony that one of your customers may have given you how juicing has affected their lives?
Yeah, absolutely. So, again, I got my mom off of high blood pressure medicine. She's no longer
That's
on.
great.
It helps with we had a lot of patients with diabetes. It definitely helps with diabetes. We had a lot of customers. Well, actually we had a customer that came in and he didn't really truly believe in like the sugar and it's different from fake sugar and all that. And so he said, well, my blood sugar is high and I have to watch everything that I eat. And
Hmm.
so I'm giving him the whole spiel about juicing and how it works once it hits your bloodstream. It works pretty much within 15 minutes. And so he was very skeptical about it. And so he pulled out his little machine that he uses to check his blood sugar. He said, I take this everywhere I go because if I eat anything, my blood sugar is going to rise pretty much instantly. I have to check it and then I have to take my medicine. I said, just try it. And so he popped the top right there in front of me. He drank the juice. He waited for maybe about 10 minutes or so. And he said, um, it seems like I feel a little something actually in a good
Yeah.
way. And so he said, I'm gonna just test my blood sugar real quick. So he poked his finger, he tested his blood sugar, and he looked at me, he looked at the machine, he was like, wow, it's actually better than after, or it's better than when I take my medicine. My blood sugar
Uh-huh.
is better now that I drank the juice than when
Yes.
as it would be if I took the medicine. And I said, I know. Like I'm
Yeah.
trying to tell you,
You're
like,
not.
that's the whole thing of juicing. Like you don't
Yes.
need the medicine. You just have to believe and just try it. And a lot of people, they think, oh, it's just juicing. That's not like for real. That's not gonna work. No, it does.
It
It
does.
works with everything because everything starts in the gut. And so if your gut
Mhm.
is not functioning properly, nothing is gonna work properly, especially females, because our hormone levels are up and down and all of our
Mhm.
hormones start in the gut. So we've helped a lot of females. We've helped patients that come in they think they have anxiety issues. Hey, we get the gut right. They start doing a juice fast and no longer do they need the anxiety medicine. And they come back in, hey, that I'm happy. I have a lot of energy. Yes, because juicing, once you clean out your liver, it rises your serotonin level. For females, that's our happy pill. So if that is off,
All
that's where
right.
your depression comes from. That's where your anxiety comes from. That's where
Uh-huh.
acne comes from. So juicing clears all that out. It clears all that. And I also have another client customer that she comes in faithfully. Her son is autistic, and
Okay.
so she drinks what we have a juice called Blue Magic, and it has spirulina in there, which is kind of like the sister of sea moss. So you get all your minerals from that. It's really good for energy. It's really great for brain health. So if you're having any kind of brain issues, it's amazing for that.
Oh
So she
wow.
started her son on the Blue Magic and she would just come by the case for him. And she said they were riding down the road one day and he communicates, but not like a whole lot. And
Okay.
so she said he was in the back seat, he was drinking his juice, and she said he just started having a full blown conversation with her out of nowhere. And she said, I
Wow.
had to pull over on the side of the road and cry because I've never had him have a conversation with me to where it's like full sentences. She said, so I know it had to be the juice.
Oh
Faithfully, it had
wow.
to be the juice. And so she comes and she buys that juice for him all the time to make sure that he has it on deck. And she said, it's something in that juice and with that spirulina. I know for sure it is absolutely helping his brain and his functioning of the brain. And
Oh,
so, of
wow.
course, the brain, again, like I said, when you're feeding it bad sugar, that's where your Alzheimer's come from and
Mhm.
your anxiety and your depression. But when you're giving it something good and healthy with all your fruits and your minerals and your vitamins, that's where all that goes away. Now your brain can function properly. So a lot of just say teachers, they figure that the kids that are school, they're jumping up around, jumping it down, they can't sit down, they're busybodies. Oh, the first thing the doctor wants to do, oh, they're ADHD. We need to put them on medicine. No, what are they eating? What is their diet like?
Yes,
Because it's
yes,
from that. So you need to fix that first and don't just go straight to the pill, you know?
yes,
So
yes.
it has helped so many of our customers. That's it is so amazing. And that's why we love doing pop-ups and love being vendors and love getting the word out there to the community because a lot of people don't know anything about juicing. It's
Yes.
they don't know. And so this is a way that, hey, you can fix your body. Your body is so smart to where if you feed it the right thing, it will heal itself. It can absolutely heal itself.
That is amazing. Like you are, I'm like, I heard your story, but this in depth, like I'm like, once we get off this interview, girl, we're gonna talk because
Yes, yes. I'm
like
here for it.
this is so enlightening, and I'm glad that I like to talk to you on camera because I'm sitting here like you the teacher and I'm the student.
Yeah.
I am so engaged because I didn't know that. I wasn't even aware of that. And so I was just thinking more of juicing that will help my survivor sisters or
Yeah.
women with breast cancer. But now this is to help everybody, men,
Everyone.
women, children. It will
Yes.
help everyone. And I am so glad. Like you probably need to be like on a billboard, like a talking billboard where you can just share everything because it's like it's so engaging. But I I'm listening to the testimonies of some of your customers and I love it. Like this is
Yes.
by far like my favorite interview already and we not even finished.
Yeah.
Like I'm it's just it's great when you get to hear information. You get
Yeah.
to hear information that you did not know and you didn't even know that existed.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody has their calling, and I definitely think this one is yours to reach so many people. And I'm definitely going to share this interview, and I'm probably going to call my mom today
Yeah.
because my mom is a diabetic
Mm-hmm.
and she has been put on so much insulin. I have family members, and this can help. And my mom is right like 30 minutes from me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So she can
Absolutely.
get to your store. She works in College Station. She can get to your store. She can visit you and get the help. And then you can just
Absolutely.
share the information with her. So
Yes.
therefore, she doesn't have to keep doing this. And so
Yes.
I was giving my viewers some information about breast cancer. But now this for everybody.
Mhm. Yes, yes. And like you
I
said,
like
of
this.
course, when you go to the doctor, they're not gonna tell you that because if I
Mhm.
tell you that and you fix it and you're healed, then you're not gonna come back to me and spend money. So of course the
Absolutely.
doctor is not gonna tell you that, you know? They're not gonna tell
Absolutely.
you how to fix it. And like I said, a
Absolutely.
lot of them don't know how to fix it because they only had like 4 to 5 hours of nutrition class out of 8 years.
Yes.
They
Uh
only know
huh.
how to prescribe different things. So
Hmm.
no, I've seen every type of health issue that you can possibly think of in the last 20 years that I've been in healthcare. So,
Yes.
I just want to put it out there. I just want to help everyone and, help people lose weight and help people just live their best life because you don't have to live your life on 50 million different pills because
Hmm.
your body can fix itself. It really can.
Yes.
So many issues that we have today comes from what we are ingesting and putting in our body. And if you think of it like back whenever we were growing up, we didn't have a lot of people with cancer and stuff. And you want to know why? It's
Right.
because we grew everything. So we didn't have all of our foods and everything pushed up with steroids or preservatives or additives or anything like that because we grew it. And so
Yes.
that's why you never heard of a lot of health issues or cancers. But now everything is pumped up with everything. And that's why you
Yes.
have every health issue under the sun because they're just feeding you stuff. And half of the stuff is not even real food.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Absolutely. So yeah, I see how passionate you are about this, and that is getting me. When I tell you that is getting me on board, like it's a juicer in the kitchen, and at my house. And like I am ready to like go. Like I am ready to start. And so the good thing is that I've already been introduced to it a little bit,
Mhm.
with my husband starting to, because he wanted to start, taking better care of his body.
Yes.
We're getting older, and
That's
and
right.
now we got our first grandbaby. So now we want to be around. We want to,
Yes.
enjoy life. And so I thank you so much. This has been so enlightening for the information that you have shared with us
Absolutely.
today. I'm definitely going to pin your business information in the comments. I
Okay.
am going to share because we're kind of close from the same hometown. So I'm gonna share all your information, and I'm gonna share with my friends and families, because of course diabetes, high blood pressure has taken over. When I say
Absolutely.
taken over, I'm the first person in my family that has been documented, history wise, that had breast cancer, but we never know who else may have it. So even if just you telling me about the juicing, if I can help someone, I'm going
Yep.
to help someone, and just give them the benefits, and then they can always go back and look at our interview, and they can hear from your mouth,
Uh-huh.
itself, that how it helps and how it has been great moving forward.
That's right.
So if there's one message that you wanna leave with our listeners, what would that one message be?
Just to believe in it, just try it. You're gonna love the benefits. You can't go wrong with it. Absolutely every benefit that juicing has um is definitely something that your body needs and it craves, and God has already given it to us. You just have to want it and you have to try it.
Thank
You
you
love
so
it.
much information with us. Please don't stop advocating. Please don't stop sharing the message. Please don't stop juicing.
Yeah.
And and getting it to the customers, and letting just reach one, teach one. You're getting the
That's it.
information out there, and I appreciate you so much. So thank you so much, Miss Angela. And I hope, for my listeners, I hope that this encourages you. I hope that you are enlightened by our interview, and I hope that you start juicing. See you soon.
Absolutely.
I hope you enjoyed the interview that was just given. Let's be more proactive and let's be more active with our health. Whether it's juicing, taking more natural routes with our health, let's just get started and let's just become more active. Again, you don't need more medicine. You need more natural remedies. You need more real foods. You need more organic foods. Let's be active with our health and let's get on top of crushing not only breast cancer, but all cancers and all illnesses and diseases that come to interrupt our life.